I got into dramas, which is surprising considering that I barely interact with people on Twitter. I post a lot on Twitter, but directly replying to people means that I have to overcome my social anxiety. Either that or jerking off to more hentai. I don't want to get myself into dramas, but here I am. The drama started off with a very cringy Tumblr fan art off of Doki Doki Literature Club. There are people who complain about this, like Ian Miles Chung, but unfortunately Ian is not really the most humorous person, so his tweet came off as a bit upset about the fan art. I'm not personally upset, I just think the fan art is cringy and hilarious in some ways. I'll be putting this on my future streams and just laugh at it, but instead of doing exactly that, I decided to turn this into a funny meme. The meme goes like this. All I bitch you is your mess. Can't keep my dick in my pants. My bitch don't love me no more. She kicked me out on life. Okay, it's not in video form, but you get the idea. Ever since then, the Tumblr rights come to me and complain that I shouldn't mock the fan art and that I should leave the artist alone. Okay, I didn't tag the artist in particular, I just made a funny meme with a cute smiley on it, but apparently I should leave the artist alone and stop mocking the fan art. How about you don't make fun of that drawing style and you leave them alone? It is still valid. Also, you'll hurt the artist's feelings so much that they will be pretty depressed and they will probably either stop drawing or even worse, making that artist to commit suicide. Okay, I think you're being too hyperbolic. First of all, yes, that fan art is indeed valid art, the same way this Krabby Patty over here is a valid food. And second, telling people that their drawings suck would hurt their feelings, make them depressed, and make them stop drawing, or even worse, make that artist to commit suicide. I've had death threats ever since my Catherine video. You know what I told these people? Please try. I want to get off with this world anyway. Then a couple of my followers notified me that the original fan artist didn't even bother. The fan artist didn't mind about people commenting on the fan art. So why are you offended on his or her behalf? So now I want to ask all of you Tumblrites, if mocking people's fan arts would make them kill themselves, would you please follow your own principles and not mock other people's fan arts? The Dream Daddy fan artist wasn't being criticized, she was being harassed. The Steven Universe fan artist wasn't being criticized, she was being harassed. All I did was make a freaking meme that mocks the fan art. I didn't say the artist is a transphobe, I didn't say the artist should kill himself or herself, I didn't say the artist should be ashamed of this fan art, I just made a meme out of it. You get up in arms when I make a meme about it, but when a fan artist made something that you consider transphobic, that's open season for you? You know what? Fine. Be outraged as much as you want. If you want to be outraged, that means I can put it on paper and got more stuff to complain about in my videos to show how much of an idiot you are for people to enjoy. If you missed it, I really love writing, typing, thinking of good ideas to make out of this situation, and of course, knuckling my rockets. Now, if you're not an idiot and you think that all of this was stupid, listen to me, because I'm going to ram this point to you. Another internet PSA for the noobs: if you don't want to be criticized by people, don't put your stuff out there in the public. If you don't want people to mock you, do not take a dump in a garbage bin in the middle of the city. I put my videos out here in public. They got like 10,000 views average. Do you know how many people want to cut off my vocal cords? Half of the freaking population of America. You know what I said to them? I want them to try. So if you're out there on the internet, you expect the internet to be a hug box that will agree to every single one of your demands. If you expect the internet to be nice to you, you are about as uninformed as a rich boy living in his parents' mansion flexing about how he can survive on the island full of pirates. You can go ask Christopher McLovin about how well that ended up for him. Now, either mocking people is perfectly acceptable or they are not, which, considering the type of person that I'm dealing with right here, I don't think they even care about morals or principles. They only care about what makes their feelings okay, even if they have to abandon the morality they shove to people's face. If you're not going to follow the things that you say to people, then why should I? I deadass hate this kind of tweets, and I'm disappointed in everyone who retweeted it. You don't like someone's art style? Scroll past it. Don't shame them publicly as much as you don't like their art style. People put all they have in their artworks. Leave this crappy behavior in 2017. Okay, so will you do the same thing when it's against fan arts or artists that you don't like? Do you expect the internet to respond nicely to fan arts that is about as artistic as a leftover bread being left outside for weeks? Oh great, now you're making me mock the fan art even more. Congratulations, I could have just stopped at that meme, and now I'm making a video about it because you took this way too seriously to the point where you have to become a good example in how not to internet. I'm saving this for future generations so that they can learn in how not to be a miserable offended snowflake and learn how to take insults. Oh, horrible me, I want people to have a thicker skin and be brave and courageous and dab on them haters. Not that it mattered because the artist doesn't even care. So what's the point of you defending it? Do you have self-esteem issues that you would like to consult to your nearby psychiatrist? Oh, by the way, thank you so much for bringing such blatant hypocrisy. You don't like big tits in a video game? Scroll down. People put a lot of work in that, so leave it in 2017. Also, calm your tits down because I was just making a meme. Well, matey, I was also just making a joke out of it. It seems to me that the best way to illustrate this event is with this classic webcomic. It's not okay when we do it to you, but you're gonna laugh when it's in other people's freaking peril. Here's another gem. Oh, you drawing black people as literal caricatures, I assume he's referring to Ugandan knuckles, is a free speech debate, but someone drawing 100% harmless of their precious enemy girlfriends is an absolute catastrophe that needs to be dragged through the dirt. Ah yes, looks like you're gonna rate the worthiness of mockery based on perceived racism. If we're gonna talk about racism, how about the fact that this art looks like anti-Japanese World War II propaganda? Oh, here's you mocking someone else's art alongside another freaking edgy Tumblrite. What's that? You lost your mind seeing it? Oh, poor you. I hope that nobody draws this monstrosity. Also, rumor has it that this drawing over here is deliberately ugly. If that's the case, then that's like defending Batman and Robin because you might hurt Joel Schumacher's feelings. Pointless, unnecessary, and you should feel bad. And since none of you Tumblrites can stay consistent with your principles, let's establish some consistency, okay? Mocking people's fan art is perfectly acceptable as long as you don't issue death threats, calling people racist, sexist, misogynist, transphobic, homophobic, and many other horrendous labels that are not true that you randomly give to people just because you don't like their fan art. Say what you want about me mocking that fan art, at least I didn't tell the artist that he's a racist bigot who needs to commit Sudoku. I'm sorry, but criticism is required. When Scott Coffin had his games criticized by Jim Sterling and similar that his animations were too animatronic, sure, he felt like shit, but rather than cry about it, he took it to heart and created Five Nights at Freddy's. That's success. Exactly! Regardless of your opinions on FNAF, he got a lot more haters than he got furries and Tumblrites. You know what he did? He keep on making games and don't even care. And now the series is successful and gained tons and tons of fans. One of the key steps of success is to ignore the people who constantly tell you to give up. If I mocked your art and your response is that I shouldn't do that because I might hurt your feelings, you're not going anywhere in this world, fam. I'm sorry, the world is a harsh place. People will say the harshest criticisms that they can get to you, even if it's not true. I make these videos so that I can educate people to have a thicker skin, which is not only beneficial on the internet, but also beneficial in life. I couldn't get to this point if I actually conformed to the people who told me that I have a bad voice and that I should shut up and delete my channel. I can do that or just keep on doing what I do and piss them off. And frankly, pissing off the trolls is pretty damn satisfying because all you need to do is to do the opposite of what they tell you to do. It's easy and it costs nothing. You could even add another extra satisfaction if you're willing to pay for a premium Pornhub subscription. One thing is constructive criticism and another one is to attack and harass someone because that person did something with an art style that you don't like. Did I do that? Did I attack the artist directly? Did I even tag the artist? Did I say that the artist is a horrible person? No, I didn't. So you need to calm down. I'm only mocking the art. And if mocking the art hurts their feelings, sorry. But the internet doesn't care about your feelings. Even if I do, the rest will not. And they're going to be absolutely relentless to you. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. It just baffles me to my core how these Tumblrites cannot stay freaking consistent in their principles. On one hand, they're going to go ballistic by the sight of female characters with giant tits. On the other hand, if you criticize their art, you're going to make them suicidal and depressed. You can't win with these people, so might as well do whatever you want. Bash any Tumblr art that is worthy of cringe and don't care about 14-year-old edgy teenagers at Tumblr trying to hold their own life hostage. Please remind me to use this tactic for a future reference because I figure it might work if I'm trying to whore as much attention as possible. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, donate to my Patreon or PayPal, or I will kill myself. I mean, that will definitely get people's attention, would it? I really need to calm down. These people are taking these jokes too seriously to the point where it gets legitimately annoying. I hate that they pull off the suicide argument this early, trampling over people with genuine depression and suicidal tendencies, all for a petty freaking fan art on the internet. Now let's talk serious. I'm gonna need to spoil Doki Doki Literature Club here, but then again, knowing that the holy trinity of YouTube Let's Players already played them, you can't really get out of Doki Doki spoilers, so if you haven't played it for some reason, go play it. It's an awesome game. Here's the most interesting thing about Doki Doki. So, Sayori is hiding her depression in her Genki girl personality. A lot of the story behind her depression is worrying more about people's happiness rather than her own. One of the happiness that she's worried about so much is the main character, which I'm just gonna grab this fan art right here to illustrate him, except the eye color is wrong! Monica is green, Natsuki is pink, Sayori is blue, Yuri is purple, main character is red, especially after that part in the game. Note to all fan artists out there, get this right. Anyway, back to Sayori. Her story basically consists of her getting main character Kun to join the literature club, but in truth she does that because she has a crush with main character Kun and she wants to be with main character Kun a lot more. The only problem is, well, she has competition and pretty much most people pick Yuri, the overrated thought. Anyway, MC-Kun, which in my route I named him Shinji, is actually very loyal to Sayori, despite Shinji being incredibly loyal to her all throughout the route and even confessing to her. The inevitable happens. She ends up in a Logan Paul video. This is indeed very shocking to Shinji-kun to the point where he ends up piloting a robot and going insane. Okay, wrong story, but wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So my point is, if you're going to tell me that people are depressed and suicidal because they're showered with tons and tons of hate, yeah, depression is a lot more nuanced than that. You can't just instantly get depressed thanks to a bunch of people mocking your art. It can be a part of it, it can contribute into the depression, but it's not the only thing that caused it. Sayori is a good example of someone who is depressed despite things going just fine for her, and her hiding all of it with her Genki girl personality really doesn't help. People who are depressed can definitely tell you that they hide their depression by pretending to be happy, pretending that things are alright, trying so hard to make people happy while ignoring your own happiness, and of course worrying the fact that you cannot bring happiness to the person that you love the most because you think that they see you as an annoyance instead of a friend. To every story of depression, there is nuance. It's more than just being mocked. Even the Steven Universe fan artist that almost killed herself, there's more to it than just her being mocked relentlessly. I can stop mocking fan arts and fan artists on the internet, but would that stop the depression? Would my action really help to cope with their anxieties? What if I say I don't really want to help because I can't help people with depression? It's on a case-by-case basis and the only person who understands it are themselves. So my question to all of you who complain about me mocking other people's fan arts, are you doing it because you genuinely care about people being depressed? Or are you doing it because you don't like me mocking it and you're using other people's depression and anxiety so that I can stop mocking it? Fine. But what if I just simply say, hey, your art is not great? What if the artist took that personally and tried to kill herself for it? Where's the line that shouldn't be crossed in delivering our feedback if every negative feedback will hurt people's feelings? I take the line when people are making death threats and accusing the artist of absolutely horrific things like being a racist, sexist, transphobe, homophobe, etc. But you take the line when I make a meme out of it. I don't know. You are confusing. You're getting on my nerves, you'll never be pleased, and frankly, nobody has to. By the way, I want to say thank you to Newslock Agency for the pledge on Patreon. You are fantastic.